What's up? It's Cody from the Keeper's Nerd. How y'all doing? Random topic today, real quick. What happened to Willow on Disney Plus, the Disney Plus show, right? This is just a quick rambling. It got canceled, I guess, yesterday. And here's the reality, right? Just give you like the quick download story of my thoughts on it first off before like I can get my full thoughts is just the history that I have with it. I did not watch Willow as a kid, didn't really know much about it or care. I was introduced to it by my wife, who was like, watched it as a kid, loved it. We sat down and watched the movie. I was kind of going, okay, this is fine. It's nothing that I'm like really that crazy interested in, but it for its time, it was fun. It was there, right? And she was so excited to watch the show as, here's Warwick Davis coming back. Here's this revisiting of this land, this world, this place. And we made it 3 or 4 episodes, I think probably 4 episodes in. And I was already checked out, like I was done. And my wife finally went, because before I guess that like it would have been that probably 4th episode, she was like, I really want to see it through. I really want to watch it. And at the end of that moment, she talked to me and she said, I just don't care anymore. It's not interesting. It's not good. And so then we had like an actual talk at that point of like what happened. And obviously, 4 episodes in, that's way further back, right? And now it got canceled. And I mean, we were 4 episodes in and I could tell you why. It was not really a fantasy setting. Like it had fantasy pieces in it, but like the characters weren't talking as though they were for some fantasy or high fantasy setting. They were talking as though they were exactly modern day equivalent. Now, I don't really even remember the movie, but I don't know. I don't know how they talked in that, but it wasn't like, I know this, it wasn't like this modern concept now, because obviously it was from like the 80s. It felt like there was just political correctness shoved in there and lots of exposition for just exposition's sake, which there's times where, yes, you have to have introductions to certain things. But like the example from the original Ghostbusters in the elevator where there was an exposition, but it was such a simple exposition of what's on your bag is like a reactor, right? That could be radioactive. And it was done so simply and so effectively that you didn't have to have a lot of exposition. And they move away from it in an elevator, which isn't going to really protect you anyway, but those extra few inches makes you feel safer. This was not what was happening in Willow. It was, we're going to sit and we're going to talk for 5+ minutes about a situation from the original movie, or to make sure you're aware of what's coming up in the next scene. It just didn't hit right. And, Willow himself was just kind of this not great character, at least even just to where we were at in the show. So am I surprised it got canceled? No. I'm surprised it lasted actually through the season, but I guess really technically it's just because it probably was all shot already. And Disney Plus, if they had just made it disappear, would have looked even worse. And we even read the email thing that they sent out, or the announcement on their website, and it's made it sound like it was coming back at some point possibly, but it's not, because who's your real focus in at this point? Well, it's like Warwick Davis, right, and a few other actors from the original stuff, but like Warwick Davis is already older, and I wouldn't be surprised struggling with health issues as well. And he just wasn't a very interesting character. Like, they didn't write him well in this anyway. And then he was just literally like exposition dumps a lot of the time. It was just really sad because it wasn't a show that was doing what it needed to do. I think sometime tonight we're going to watch Mandalorian season 3 episode 3, and probably give some thoughts on that either tonight or tomorrow. Disney Plus, I think, is in a rough spot because they've leaned into a certain way of thinking for quite a while, with Bob Iger at the helm, and now he's at the helm again. I would have been curious to see what stuff would have happened with Bob Chapek for a few more years if he'd actually been able to last that long. But unfortunately, some of the stuff was in the works before he was even in. And so it was like, will we see a period in a little while of Bob Chapek's vision? I don't know, because he just wasn't in there very long. So yeah, Willow failing. It failed because it wasn't really putting itself fully into the setting that it was supposed to be in. It failed because of just exposition dumps that made things really boring. It failed because it was just randomly convenient and also just leaned into political correctness and wokeness stuff. And they're getting themselves into this trap, this absolute trap of wanting to just follow wherever the wind takes them instead of just holding to, you know, what if we just told actual good stories? So Willow failed, and it deserved to. So I've been Cody from the Keepers of Nerddom. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Willow as well. Bye.